What's up, people? This is the Real King Tim 187, and I'm here to give you my deck profile yet again on the Twilight Dragons. I am constantly changing this deck, so you're going to see many deck profiles of this because I'm constantly trying to make it better. I love dragons. I've loved dragons since the beginning of the game. It is immediately my favorite deck. I ain't going to say it's my best deck, but it's my favorite deck, mainly because it is a consistent dragon build, and it is very playable, as well as very competitive. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started, leading off with Sangan. Sangan main targets is Honest, as well as Lumina and Raikou. The aforementioned Honest that has many targets in his deck. One Lila. I would love to run more than one Lila, however I only have one. I could pick up some commons. I think I probably have some commons somewhere, but I think I'd rather just play with my one OT. If I pick up a couple more, then I'm definitely going to add an in, but for now, one Lila runs just as well. One Garroth. I'm still going to keep Garroth in here because I like the additional draw power when I'm able to set it up. And when I can't set it up, he's always useful for solar recharge and some plays with Charger Light Brigade. My two Luminas, same reason, to combine that with Garroth to do some draw power. Main effort is to send 3 cards from the top of my deck to load my graveyard up. That's her main purpose. And finally, for the Lightsworn is my 3 Raikous. Pretty much staple in here, destroy a card, as well as do some milling. Alright, leading off with the Dragons, we got Eclipse Wyvern. Everybody heard my deck profiling this guy before. I went from not playing with him to playing with him, and so far, for a while now, he has been doing amazing, and I think he'll continue to do amazing in this deck. As well as he's also a light, so Honest is beautiful with him. Alright, the new addition to this deck, Red Eyes Wyvern. I am going back to playing with this card again. Because I made some changes, took some Lightsworn monsters out, and because Dark Flare Dragon is working so well in this deck, I've decided to go start playing with Wyvern again. Graveyard is pretty easy to set up to where I can special summon Dark Flare out of my hand, mill either Darkness Metal or Wyvern out of my hand to send the opposite to the graveyard. In phase, remove Wyvern, bring out Darkness Metal. I mean, everybody knows the combinations with it, and it works pretty well in this deck all around. And plus it gives me another dragon monster that I can just summon to the field to remove for Darkness Metal. Which brings me to Darkness Metal. If you really need me to explain this card, you have not been in Yu-Gi-Oh! Very long. Next up, Light Pulsar Dragon, which I still think is the key card to this entire deck. However, his brother, Dark Flare Dragon, has been taking a lot of the spotlight and setting up my chaoses. Which brings me to the chaos side of the house. Leading off with Darkhorn Dragon. This deck has so much graveyard control, it is ridiculous. Darkhorn Dragon is an easy staple to add in. One BLS, self-explanatory, as well as it should be known and said that you can always do the OTK with BLS and Honest. And finally, 3 Chaos Sorcerers. And like I stated before, this deck has an immense amount of graveyard control, which is why Darkhorn Dragon runs so well up in here. And here's just another card that shows that. Future Fusion. I mean, you can set your graveyard up exactly how you want it with the perfect number of lights and darks, as well as sending Red Eyes Wyvern to the graveyard for Darkness Metal plays at the end of the turn. I mean, there are just so many things you can do. Pot of Avarice. You are milling a good amount in this deck, and if you do need to recycle, you can recycle. On to the draw power with Allure. Self-explanatory, there are plenty of targets, dark monsters in this deck, so pretty easy to pull it off. Charge the Light Brigade for some searching ability as well as milling. and of course the combination with charge and solar recharge, draw mill, and of course our staples, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and 3 MSDs for some back row 8. And as always, no traps in this deck. Really not needed. The deck is built more towards speed and completely overwhelming my opponent. So it's not really needed at all to run traps. But that is my build. If you got any comments, suggestions, likes, dislikes, leave it down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And as always, when you enter the throne room, bow down to the king.